What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello and welcome. In today's video, we are going to be creating two looks with the new Midnight Haze palette from Blairdalemua Cosmetics. I'm excited about this one. This palette actually showed up like right before we left for vacation, so I have been dying to play with it ever since because the color story in here is so incredibly beautiful. It's a 9-pan color story. It's got purple, it's got blue. You're going to get 4 mattes in here, 3 beautiful shimmer shades, a duochrome right here in the middle, and then this shade down here is going to be a matte with sparkles in it, and I cannot wait to dive into this and test out the formula. Blairdalemua actually launched his brand about mid last year with the Hunter and the Prey palette. I instantly fell in love with the color story, the formula. It ranked really high in my top 24 palettes of 2024, so I'm excited to dive into this one and see if the formula is the same and create some looks with it. So that's exactly what we're going to do. This palette does retail for roughly $29. It is still currently available on his website, so I will have it linked and listed down below in the description box, as well as everything else that I use in today's video to complete my looks. So per usual, if you're ever curious what anything I use in any of my videos here on my channel, always check that description box. I squeeze as much information as I possibly can into that tiny little space. But without further ado, let's go ahead and zoom in, prime my eyes, and start creating our looks. Alright, y'all, so my eyes are primed and ready to go with my P. Louise eyeshadow base, and I think for the first look, I really want to play with these purples over here, and then maybe we'll dive into the blues for the second look. So I'm actually going to go ahead and start with this shade right here, which is called Love Potion. It's this really pretty purple shade, and I'm going to go ahead and pick that up with just a blending brush. This is one of the ones from Ladybug Glow, so I'm going to go ahead and just start by fluffing this right here into my crease. I don't want to go in too heavy-handed because his shadows are nice and pigmented, and I want to start out with just a soft wash of this through my crease and then kind of build it up a little bit more on my outer corner, kind of bringing in a little bit more depth, so kind of having it naturally fade into itself, going closer to my inner corner. And that is going on beautifully so far. I'm not getting any patching, any skipping. I'm not getting any fussiness, fallout, anything like that. It's just building up and blending out effortlessly. It's not, you know, grabbing or doing anything weird. That is such a beautiful purple shade. So I'm just going to continue to kind of build it up right here on my outer corner and kind of let it kind of fade into itself, like I said. I'm going to go ahead and wrap that shade down onto my lower lash line as well. So I'm just taking the same brush, I just picked up a little bit more, and I'm just fluffing it right down here on my lower lash line, more so concentrating it on the outer portion and just kind of meeting it up right here in my outer corner. Okay, so next I'm going to go into this shade right here, which is called Blackout. It's that matte with sparkles in it. It looks like almost like a blackened blue shade, but I'm going to go ahead and pick that up with a Morphe M506 brush, and I'm just going to very lightly deepen up my outer corner right here. Ooh, that is pigmented and absolutely beautiful. I'm not getting any fallout with it. It's going on really, really nicely. I'm just building up that little bit of depth out here just to give a little bit of smokiness, and I am going to bring it down onto the very outer portion of my lower lash line as well. Again, just kind of wrapping it around. Alright, so I think what I want to do next is go into this shade right here, which is called Midnight Haze, and it's like this very pale lavender pastel shade, and I want to put that on my inner corner. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up with a Singe Beauty EO5 brush, and I'm just going to start by kind of pressing it right here in my inner corner, and then I want to work on kind of blending it up towards my crease and then bringing it down kind of onto my lower lash line, and that is picking up really lavender. It's like a really cool pigmented shade. I didn't expect it to look like that. I was really expecting it to be a little softer, but I'm impressed with the pigmentation. Like, that is absolutely beautiful. Oh, I love that shade. I love it more than I thought I was going to. So I went ahead and primed my lid with my NYX glitter primer per usual, and for all over the lid, we're going to go into this duochrome shade right here, which is called Crystal Raindrops. So I'm just going to show y'all a little swatch on my finger real quick so you can see what that shade looks like. It has like the most beautiful, almost translucent base, like a blue to a purple flip to it. It's going to look stunning all over the lid. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up with my BK Beauty 203 brush, which is around here somewhere. I am going to spray it with some MAC Fix Plus, and I'm going to pop this all over over my lid. We might have to bring in something to kind of blend the outer corner into this shade just a little bit better so it's more seamless, but we'll see what this does. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray it, and I'm just gonna start by pressing it right here all over my lid, and then I can go back with more and start to build it up a little bit more. But that is so pretty, so reflective. It's nice and smooth. It felt very creamy in the pan, but it didn't feel like so creamy where it might crease on you. But I would definitely say if you have oily eyelids like I do, go in with a glitter primer just for extra insurance. I like to use the MAC Fix Plus when I spray my brush just so I can, you know, limit any fallout that I'm gonna get off the brush. So it's not really necessary, but it's something that I like to do personally. I'm just gonna keep pressing this all over the lid. Very smooth, no fallout. This one is stunning, and I really don't think we're gonna need to bring in anything else. I think this is actually gonna complete this look. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw on some liner, mascara, and I'll come back and show you all the completed look. Alright y'all, so this is the first completed look with the palette, and I think this turned out absolutely beautiful. That duochrome on the lid is so insanely smooth and reflective, but that pastel shade that I put on my inner corner is really interesting because it looks like it's going to be like a lavender purple in the pan, but on my cool undertones, it has like a periwinkle blue shade to it, and I think it's absolutely stunning. But let's go over what I used to finish off this look so we can create our second look with this palette. So in my lower waterline, I went in with my ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Prance. I lined my lid with my ZC liquid liner and finished everything off with my City Beauty Beyond mascara. But let's go ahead and pop back into this palette so we can do our second look, because I definitely want to play with this blue shade up here, but I also want to throw in a little bit of this brown. So I think I'm actually going to go ahead and start with this shade right here and kind of fluff it into my crease. That one is called Hazy Night. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up with, let's go in with this brush right here. This is my Morphe M504 brush. It's just a big fluffy brush. So I'm going to go into that shade Hazy Night. I wanted to call it Midnight Haze for some reason. And I'm going to start by kind of fluffing this into my crease. Very whimsically. I'm not kind of building it up. I'm just kind of fluffing it out and really dispersing that shade. I want to get kind of a light wash of it, very similar to what I did in the first look, but instead of building it up in the outer corner, I just want to kind of throw it in the crease right here. And I think I am going to bring this down onto my lower lash line as well, but I'm going to go ahead and start here. I love that shade. It's like a really pretty chocolate brown shade. I love that there's a little bit of neutrality brought into this palette. It makes it very versatile and easy to work with, because you could 100% do this shade all in the crease, throw one of those beautiful shimmers on the lid, and call it a day. Alright, so next I'm going to go into this blue shade up here, which is called After Fall, and I'm going to pick that up with this brush right here. This one is from the brand Mange. It's a large shader brush. I got this one in my December Ice Cream Beauty box, so I thought we'd kind of bring some of these brushes out and play with them today. But I'm going to go ahead and pick up that shade, and I'm going to start by pressing it right here in my outer corner, just building up a little bit of depth and a little bit of color, and see how it's going to stack on top of that first shade that I put down. That is so beautiful. It's nice and pigmented. It's not washing away or mudding up or fading into that other shade. I'm also not getting any fallout. It's building up absolutely beautifully. I'm going to bring this down onto my lower lash line as well, just kind of right there in that very outer portion, just like I did with the first look whenever I went in with that deeper shade. So I'm just going to bring it right here and then just continue to kind of build and blend. Okay, so we're going to go back into this shade right here, which is called Blackout. I'm going to use it to deepen up my outer corner of this look as well. So I'm going to pick it up with the same brush that I used in the first look, which is my Morphe M506 brush. And I'm just going to start to kind of press it right here on my very outer corner, building up just a little bit more depth. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want this to overtake the look. I just want that little bit of depth right here in the outer corner. And I'm going to bring it down onto the outer portion of my lower lash line as well, just kind of wrapping it around and building up that little bit of depth. Alright, so once again, my eye is primed with my NYX glitter primer, and for all over the lid, I want to go into this shade up here. This one is called Streetlight, so let's go ahead and do a swatch of it. Oh My gosh, look at that. It's like the most beautiful, like silvery shade. It has like a little bit of like a blue undertone to it. Absolutely stunning. I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up once again with my BK Beauty 203 brush. If I can find it. I swear everything is just a mess right now. But I'm gonna go ahead and pick it up with that brush. I'm gonna spray it once again, and I'm gonna pop this all over my lid. And then I'm kind of thinking for the inner corner, maybe we'll go back in with that duochrome. But I'm gonna start by pressing this all over my lid. Oh my gosh, that is so insanely beautiful. I love that little bit of a blue undertone that it has to it. It makes it such an icy shade. I'm just going to kind of press it all over my lid, and I'm going to bring it over to, I think, right about there, kind of leaving that little bitty inner corner open, because I do want to go in with that duochrome for my inner corner. I think it's going to look absolutely stunning and just add a little bit of a pop to the inner corner. With my Singe Beauty EO1 brush, I'm going to pick up that duochrome called Crystal Raindrops. I'm going to spray it once again, and I'm just going to kind of pop this on my inner corner, adding just a little bit of a pop. So I'm going to press it right in here, and I am going to blend it up onto my lid and down onto my lower lash line as well, just so we don't have any harsh lines and everything is kind of like a nice seamless flow from one shade to another. Oh, I love that so, so much. And there we have it, our second completed look with this palette, and I think this one turned out beautiful as well. I'm loving that sort of blue smoky look that we have going on, and as someone who's not normally a fan of silvers, I love that silver shimmer on the lid. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. But to finish off this look, I use the same products that I used in the first look, so same liner in the lower lash line, liquid liner, and mascara. But let's go ahead and turn the lights down so we can see the shift, the shimmer, the sparkle, and then we'll come back and I'll give you my first initial impression thoughts on this palette. All right, y'all, so based off of first impression, I really enjoyed this palette. I thought the color story was beautiful. I love the two looks that I created with this palette, and I think that the formula in here is very much so on par with the Hunter and the Prey palette. I found the mattes in here to be very easy to work with. They blended out effortlessly. They were pigmented, but they were still more on the buildable side. I was able to sheer them out just a little bit as well. They were fuss-free. I didn't get any patching, skipping, or fallout with any of the matte shades, and I thought the shimmers in here were beautiful as well. I did only get to 2 of the shimmer shades in this palette, but both of them were very smooth, very reflective. They didn't accentuate texture, they didn't feel like chunky or gritty, and they didn't give me any fallout, so they look beautiful on the lid. Now, as far as wear time goes, I will have to keep y'all posted in a future palette ranking video. After I've gotten to every single shade in here, I've created multiple different looks, used it with different primers, brushes, and things like that, and I have my full thoughts, but I don't think I'm going to be disappointed with this one at all. Like I said, performance-wise, it performed the same way that I expected it to based off of the Hunter and the Prey palette. But beautiful job. I think it's a beautiful palette. I think Blair is really doing something with his brand, and I hope he continues to bring us more beautiful color stories. I am so excited to see what he has in store for us for going into 2025. But that is going to complete this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it and found it helpful. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. Which look was your favorite? Did you pick up this palette? Are you interested in this palette? Let me know if you picked up the Hunter and the Prey and what you thought of that one. But let's have that conversation, light up that comment section, and as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It truly does mean so much to me. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. I do post quite a few videos every single week, and I wouldn't want you to miss one. But until my next video, have a good one. Bye.